I think that one of the this is sort of a debate that libertarians have on a more philosophical ground a lot about whether or not the federal government should be, made leaner or made more efficient or made better as opposed to made worse. Because if you are committed like anarchist like I am and you think the government is an unnecessary evil, the federal government is just bad, well, you don't want to make it more efficient. You don't want to make it better. You want to get rid of it, And so I think this is something that divides a lot of libertarians. There's the kind of common sense, well, we should, we have it. We should make it as good as possible. We should make it as efficient as possible. And, you have the more extreme libertarians, I would say, people like Murray Rothbard, who would say, no, we should obstruct it. We should make it as convoluted and difficult as possible so that it can't actually be effective. Because if you make it efficient and simple, then it becomes more effective at the things it does. And if you believe the things it does are basically oppressive and bad, you don't want that.
Yeah. As someone who has admitted I'm not an anarchist because I believe it's something that can't actually be achieved, but that's neither here or there. I find more
Can't or won't?
Can't.
Okay.
Impossible. A peaceful anarchy.
All things are possible through God.
Well, when he comes, then I'm all for monarchy. Then I switch my political ideology. But I think your way actually is more useful because I think I have much use for people like you because I believe we should just be obstructing the government or we should just be fighting it because I don't think you can. I also disagree. You can't make it efficient. There's no we can totally get it. I feel like that's also unrealistic.
This was a debate we used to have in the old days about the flat tax. It was very popular among libertarian circles to say the
I'm
tax
still a
code,
flat tax guy.
But the tax code is so complicated and bad, and it takes people so much time to fill out their taxes, and you have to hire attorneys, and it's awful. We should just have a flat tax so you can fill it on a postcard and mail it in and be done.
Ted Cruz, 2015 or whatever.
So, a lot of people think that way, and I used to think that way. And then I kind of became persuaded that, well, taxes are bad, and we should pay as little in taxes as possible. If you have a flat tax, it's really easy to collect. It's really easy to, catch people who are evading it, and it's easy to ratchet up the rate. Is if you have a complicated tax code with lots of deductions and loopholes, it makes it easier for people who want to take the time and effort to evade or avoid taxes. I'll say avoid for legal reasons. People who want to avoid taxes have an easier time doing it with the complex tax code. You can find ways to shield your money and to protect yourself from paying more taxes. And if it's simple tax code, you wouldn't be able to do that. So there is a principled libertarian argument for a complex tax code because on net, the government will be able to collect less taxes because it's just too difficult.
It's something to think about. It's an interesting argument. I haven't heard that. I'm still on the flat tax bandwagon because I'm just like, I kind of have sympathy for people say like, oh, people can afford better attorneys and lawyers can find their loopholes, and I do say, like, well, good for you. I also want you to pay less taxes, so I don't get jealous, but I wanted to, I was like, just take 10% and get out of my life.
Right. No, I definitely sympathize with that view, and I go back and forth on this, a couple times a year. But I think overall, I'm more sympathetic with the obstructionist view of let's just make it let's give ourselves as many loopholes and outs as possible to avoid having to pay off the government. That would be good.